I'm Ike Bush. Game's just about to get started. Metuchen versus David Brearley should be a great one here from the Brainy Borough. Just in a few moments, we'll get started. We're going to come back in just a few after the national anthem and starters are announced. Ike Bush, Henry Sia on the call. Don't leave us yet.
Good evening. On behalf of our athletic director, Mr. John Cathcart, and our principal, Mr. Edward Krowski, we'd like to welcome you to Metuchen High School, where sportsmanship is an expectation. So please let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the spectators be positive. Today, the Bulldogs will be hosting the Bears from David Brearley High School in Kenilworth. Before we get to the starting lineups, would you please stand for the playing of our national anthem? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly wreathed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets roared aloud, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the And now the starters for the Bears, coached by Ryan Huger. At guard, a sophomore number 1, Ryan Obuchinski. At guard, a junior number 3, Diego Bendezu. At guard, a junior number 5, Jake Zawaki. At forward, a junior number 15, Glenn McCrae. And at forward, a senior number 34, Omar Gray.
Ike Bush, Henry Sia here on the Bulldog Report. Super excited to get the final game underway. Final home game for Metuchen, Henry. What are you expecting to see from the usual starters and on into the game from the rest of the roster?
I'm expecting to see like a lot from Metuchen. They had a huge home win against Bard recently, 70-41, but ended up losing the next game on Perth Amboy. Hopefully they could rebound from that. Metuchen offense proven to be resilient, and when it gets going, it really gets going. So hoping to see a lot.
So that starts off, and it's a missed opportunity there by David Brearley. Put up, Ben Santis. It's just bricked up. As you're going to restart, Max Cohn with the basketball. Bounce pass over to Ben Santis. And we are well underway now. The shot, no good. Metuchen at this moment, 10-13 is their record. David Brearley High School, right now, just 1-14. And they also happen to be in a lower division than Metuchen. So we'll see what ends up happening in this one. But Metuchen, probably the favorites in this one.
Yeah, because this team has only one win. They are not doing good, and their one win happened to be actually just recently, only 2 games ago, against Corneo. Yeah, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, by 2 points. So Metuchen should be getting an easy win, but their offense is amazing. But when it gets, like I said, when it gets going, it gets going. So I'm expecting to see a lot against this 1-15 squad. So.
3-pointer by Diego Bendozo, and now you're going to see Schiappa wide open. Check out that, a dunk. Now 2 consecutive games where there's been a dunk on the exact same net, but the last one, unfortunately for Metuchen, was not for Metuchen. It was a dunk by the opposite team. It's going to be staying with Metuchen on the same side. Ben Santis will check it in. So the usual starters for Metuchen, Ben Santis. They've got Kay Emsley, Dom Schiappa, Max Cohn, and Liam Benderly out there. A whole team that's completely gotten better as the course of the season has just kind of progressed. There's Dom Schiappa. You see him getting doubled. Cohn checks it under over to Santis, and he's been so great from outside. Ben Santis chucks up a 3 and nails it. Santis hits his 16th three-pointer of the year. The sophomore is starting off his career in hot fashion.
Yeah, because the fact that he can make the starting roster as a sophomore is just incredible. But to put up the amount of points he's put up, just really good. He's able to just do good in the paint, do good outside, like on the three-point line. He's able to make three-point shots with ease. Like, he attempts a lot of them and makes a lot of them, so just great player overall. And he's only going to get better and better through his junior and senior year.
Definitely a guy you want to highlight. That ball goes out of bounds. The pass there by Obazinski, and it's going to go out of bounds. Starting lineup for the team, David Brearley. The high school has Omar Gray, number 34, Glenn McRae, number 15, Jake Zawacki, number 5, Diego Bendozo, who has all the points so far for them, hit the three-pointer earlier, and Obazinski, who's number 1. And that's their starters for this one. Looked like might have been out of bounds. Obazinski, though, will pass it inside. A shot was off the mark by Dom, and it's going to go right back to David Brearley. Here come the Bears on the attacking end. A sloppy offensive display so far in this one. You see Schiappa on the fast break. Already has a dunk in this one, and he's going to lay this one in off the glass. It's 7-3. Metuchen starting to look a lot better now. They are up by 4. You see Ben Santis swat that out. The pass there by Jake Zawacki. He tried to find a man in the paint, swatted away by the sophomore guard, and Ben Santis knocks it away. 5:17 to go in the first quarter. It's thrown up to Zawacki. And it looks like it's going to be going with Metuchen here. It looked like maybe a jump ball. Ben Santis will pass it in to Max Cohn. And Metuchen, with a 7 unanswered streak, will look to expand that on this one.
Yeah, because, honestly, like you said, I've been seeing a sloppy display of offense from Bard. Brearley, because, seriously, I mean, I kind of jinxed it there, but they have been so sloppy on offense, miscommunication, broken up passes, just terrible. Until now.
So there's Benderly, a pass inside. Schiappa, easy paving way to the basket. He gets it He now has looked really good in this one, just like the rest of his season and his high school career. For three, it's perfect. Diego Bendezu, that's his second three-pointer of the night. It's 9-8. Metuchen still up, but they got the ball with 4:20 to go in the first quarter. A reminder, if you're not yet subscribed to the Bulldog Report, make sure you subscribe for more high school sports content. You got the Bears on the basketball, 4:07 to go in the first quarter. Bendezu has 2 3-pointers. He's the man with the basketball. He's guarded by Max Cohn, the other hot shooter.
Yeah, Max Cohn, from what I've seen, is just an amazing three-point shooter. Like, if you get him outside of the three-point lines and he's, like, ever so slightly unguarded, he will make that three-pointer. Like, he has just remarkable talent in that area.
I talked a little bit with Eddie Kalegi on the last stream, which was last night, actually. And we talked about Max Cohn's range and his ability to shoot from a long range. It's really impressive what we've seen from Max Cohn this year. And he's definitely shown some growth as the season has gone on. Dom Schiappa puts it up. And Max Cohn is also their second top scorer, of course, only behind the Marywood commit, Dom Schiappa, who you see on the attacking end. Now on the defensive side, Metuchen kind of slowed down a little bit after going on a 7-0 streak for 3 minutes. Now they're on the defensive end. They trail. They only lead by 1. We'll see if they're able to hold the defense together. In the corner, Obuzinski. Slower paced game, this one. A lot slower than last night's against Perth Amboy. Looked like maybe a charge, but they'll play on. You got Brearley on the ground, rolls it to Ben Santis, and Bulldogs basketball. Schiappa, he's swatted away. Awesome play there by Glenn McGray. And McGray swats it away and creates an offensive attack for the Bears.
Yeah, this has... I mean, I know I said it before that they were playing sloppy on offense, but they have seemed to rekindle a light in them because they have just chipped away at Metuchen's 7 unanswered points and just been able to just get their offense going and make the score a lot more even because Metuchen, it just slows. Metuchen's offense is inconsistent, but when they find a consistency on offense, they do amazingly. But if they don't, it's just going to go back and forth. So if Metuchen can find consistency on offense, that might be the key to winning this game against the Bears.
Benderly's out, Emsley's out, in comes Malamug and Latai Lai with 2:27 to go in the first quarter. Lots of seniors on this Bulldog team seeing their final home game in the Metuchen Gymnasium. As you see Schiappa lay it in, almost no pressure there. He has 9 of the Metuchen 11 points so far, looking really good out there. In the corner. Pass outwards towards outside, looks like a three-pointer. It was no good, and it's Metuchen ball once again. You've got Pinto, who got checked in for the Bears. He's seeing his first minutes in this one. Still have yet to see Omar Gray do anything. He's one of their top players on the Bears. And there's Ben Santis again, winding it up. Three-pointer made. Ben Santis, Dom Schiappa, the only scorers in the white jersey tonight. It's 14-8 with a minute and a half to go in the first of 4. Swatted away by Latai Lai. Awesome job by Alec Latai Lai to swat that away. Number 21, he came in hot. Knew exactly what he'd do and swatted it out of bounds. Good job by Alec. Metuchen looking a lot better right now. 14-8 they lead. Metuchen, we've talked a little bit about their foul trouble. And so far just one. I guess I just jinxed it. That's their second foul of the night. It's going to send 2 shots to the line, and that was the first foul for Alec Latai Lai. Bears looking to cut into the lead. Looking ahead for the Bears so far this season, it hasn't been too great. They're 1-14 heading into this one. But the Bears actually lost every single game heading into the one against Koinonia. And they won that one 51-49. Must have been a nail-biter. And then they've lost 2 straight since then. They've dropped the last 2. And they head into this one on the road against a pretty good Metuchen team. A Metuchen team that certainly wants to win this one in front of the fans in their final game at home. Malamug fouled as he lays it in off the glass. He'll be sent for a 3-point play at the line. We'll see if he could do it. Marcus Malamug, we'll be seeing a lot from him, the junior. Super excited to see what Marcus Malamug brings to the table next year as a senior.
Yeah, like normally the transition from junior to senior really just shows a huge leap in not only strength, size, but just experience. Because experience is what is a huge factor in this game. And you see seniors like Dominic Schiappa putting up 500 points in the season, and just amazingly. So seniors with more experience just always end up doing better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rambling on here.
That's for sure. Seniors that they experience. You make a good point. Seniors definitely that helps out a lot. And Schiappa has definitely sprouted into a great player throughout the years. But his senior year, he really just took off. You see Max Cohn with the ball, controlling the pace of this one. There's Ben Santis and Max Cohn. Under a minute to go. Schiappa open, a little too open, and he gets it. Well, the Bears definitely have to prioritize Dominic Schiappa, Henry.
Yeah, because seriously, Dominic Schiappa, he could do so much. Like, he could make three-pointers. He could just dominate with his size in the paint. Like, he could make two-point shots. He's just a great all-around player. And definitely the focal point of this Metuchen offense.
Obizinski misses the three. Bulldogs come up short on their try. It's going back the other way. Obizinski a little too open on the outside. He drains it. That's their third three-pointer against Metuchen tonight. 15 seconds to go. Bulldogs trying to maybe get one more score, up 7 with just 10 seconds to go. It was intended for Dom. Dom didn't appear to be ready for it. Max Cohn with the bounce pass ends up rolling out of bounds. Bears have a chance to maybe score 1 or 2 more points, 2 or 3 more points before the end of the first quarter. Been pretty evenly matched. Metuchen probably walked into this one thinking it'd be a blowout. They definitely have to earn that blowout in the remainder of this game. It's thrown up, intercepted by Alec Latai-Lai. Schiappa chucks it up. It's no good. 19-12, done with the first quarter. So it's been a heck of a game so far, but Dominic Schiappa has been too open tonight, Henry.
Yeah,
so what does David Brearley have to do to shut down Schiappa throughout the next 3 quarters?
Honestly, what they got to do, put their best player on Schiappa, maybe double team him sometimes, but one big thing is to try and keep him out of the paint, because when he gets in there, he's just able to generate points after points and just get this add consistency to this offense. But as we've seen recently, even when he's outside of the paint, he's still able to make an impact with those three-point shots, like you saw a couple minutes ago when he made one on the outside. So what I do is try to push him outside and try to force him to have to make those three-point shots. And he is good at them, but it's better than having him just keep this offense chugging and chugging inside of the paint and just gaining consistency, because they just want to break Metuchen's hot streak. So they got to contain Schiappa, just away from the net.
I got a stat for you guys, kind of a bizarre one at that. Dominic Schiappa, of course, a really impressive season, 525 points this year. And the entire David Brearley Bears team, 565. Just 40 more than Dominic Schiappa in total. And David Brearley's played one more than Metuchen, so just thought I'd share that one. They missed the three-pointer, Bulldogs basketball, and Schiappa is wide open once again. He'll take it inside. It looks like he's Buddy the Elf in a classroom full of children. He lays that one in, 21-12. Bulldogs with a commanding lead so far, and they look really good, especially out of the gate of the first quarter.
Yeah, because, like I said, Dominic Schiappa, you got to try and contain him, keep him out of the paint, but looks like they did try to do that, and it doesn't matter because he just shoves through defenders after defenders and manages to find a way to make those hard shots and turn that into positive points. So they're doing what I'm telling them to do, but it's not working. He's just too good.
That's for sure. There's him. There's Domsky up at the top. Cohn chucks up the three, and he doesn't get it to go. Actually, weird stat for you. Max Cohn has made each of his first three-point attempts in the last 3 games, although he misses that one. 5 timeouts remaining for each team. 3 fouls now for the Bulldogs and just 1 for the Bears. That's Alec Latai-Lai's second foul of the game. Foul trouble's been haunting Metuchen all year. Last game, it didn't come until really later on when they had to intentionally foul in a bizarre fashion with just 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. 7:09 to go. And the ball rolls out of bounds. It, I think, hit last off of the Bulldogs. You see Cody Cardillo checking in for Ben Santis, the other sophomore. It's a sophomore swap. You've got now Cone, Schiappa, Emsley, Malamug, and Cody Cardillo, the coach's son. You see him in the far corner. 3-point chance, no good. Obazinski with his third 3-point try. He's 1 for 3 from outside. Dom keeping the ball away. Zawacki was guarding him. It's looking more like a zone defense than anything at this point for David Brearley. Schiappa powering through. Look at that. But it won't count regardless.
And that's just one thing that Dominic Schiappa is amazing at. Being able to make a play as soon as he gets the ball and just go through defenders. And just, like I said, make a play. He's a playmaker. He can get the ball in a terrible situation and turn it into positive points.
So it's going to go the other way. Zawacki with the ball. Here comes David Brearley's team. And risky throw, sidearm fashion. Looked like maybe a foul by Schiappa, potentially, who was guarding him. And it's their Metuchen's fourth foul. And it was not on Schiappa, it was on Emsley. But regardless, it's Metuchen's fourth foul. Emsley's first. From the corner, it's up. No good. Look at Cone with the strength contest. Grabs the rebounds, throws it up. Malamug, off balance. What a play. Malamug has been really good so far as we see him lay in his third and fourth points here in the second quarter. So Metuchen and David Brearley talk things over on their side, discussing some things. What are you saying right now if you're David Brearley's head coach? What are you telling your team? And what are you going to tell Ryan Obazinski, who's your team leader and also has 28 three-pointers heading into this one? He now has 29 after this game. So what do you think you're going to tell your team right now if you're David Brearley's team?
Honestly, I'm just going to tell them that Metuchen, like, they have done an okay job at containing Metuchen after their unanswered 19, well, not unanswered, but after their 19 points from last quarter. And they're doing at least a better job. But what I tell them to do is to try and gain some consistency on offense. Something I've been saying Metuchen should do too, which they seem to have found. But David Brearley just really needs to find a way to just keep getting inside of their opponent's territory, and instead of wasting the opportunity by going for a missed three-pointer, they should try actually turning it, just safely going for 2 points after 2 points, until they could finally just slowly chip away at Metuchen's lead. Because still 2 quarters and 6 minutes to go. So a lot of time for David Brearley to turn the tide. So I would also tell him no pressure, because there's still a huge amount of time for David Brearley to adjust.
So it's going to go with the Bears, their ball. It's a check pass underneath, and it's no good. Obazinski, the pass incomplete. Out of bounds, Bulldog ball. Cone, right to the coffin corner. Underneath, Malamug outside. It's Cone, and back to Cardillo. We'll set up with 5:46 to go. Slowing down the pace of this offense. Don't count Max Cone out to take a shot from out in his range. He has been firing from that range for a little while now. A lot of confidence on that kid, and he definitely has earned his spot on this team. Shot no good. Schiappa put it up. It's going to be rebounded, fighting for it. Cardillo getting into it a little bit, and he has, it appears, he's fighting a little bit, as they're not going to call this in the Bears' direction. As you see the fans, the full student section is here, and that's been something that the players and team has been fighting for, having fans back in the stands, and they're finally here. We'll actually speak more about that at halftime. We have a special guest coming on to talk a little bit about the mask mandates and the district, as well as some Bulldogs basketball at halftime. Make sure to stay tuned for the halftime special guest in honor of the final game of the year. It's over to Schiappa from the corner. He takes the three and he bangs it. Look at that. Dom Schiappa nailing the three-pointer. Dom hits his 13th three-pointer of the year. It's put up, shot no good. Zawacki puts it up, and it's swatted down by Kay Emsley. What a good job there by Kay Emsley. Swats the ball way out, 4:55 to go. And he kept it clean, though, too, as Metuchen is staying a little bit out of foul trouble. Emsley has 2 right now.
That was just a fantastic play by Kay Emsley. Saw him going for the messy shot, trying to make a play, and then he just shut it down. Completely swatted that ball out of bounds, and not only that, but got Metuchen the ball back.
Cardillo lays it in, and look at that. Look at the bench and the crowd right now. All so excited to see their beloved Metuchen Bulldogs back in action, and they're looking real good. They're more than double the score of David Brearley right now. It's not been too good for David Brearley. Metuchen looks really hot right now.
Yeah, like I said, when they took that timeout a couple minutes ago, I said that they needed to gain a consistency on offense, and they still have not yet to score a single point after that. Only 3 points in the second quarter. So Metuchen seems to be getting the wheels rolling for their entire offense. So far, 28 points, still more than half the quarter left. So David Brearley really needs to shape up, because this lead is getting too big to come back from. So they really need to just gain some consistency on offense, be able to defend Metuchen in general, and that's their key to success, consistency.
4.5 minutes to go. Look at this. Looks like a pass to Dom by the other team. And it's good. I think stick with Metuchen's possession. We may start to see some other players off the Metuchen bench. Maybe we'll see some Rocco Serio. Maybe we'll see some Ben Galeota. Rocco probably playing his last home game. And, I'm sure we'll see him, some other seniors as well. Excited to see. Also, Sahil Gudrathi probably get to check in this one. They have a sizable margin at a lead right now. Santis kicks it to Cone. Cone kicks over to Santis. Benderly, and in the corner, Schiappa fires away. No good. It bricks off the rim. It's going to go to the Bears' possession. Bears slowing down the pace in this one. They've been a sloppy offense for sure in this one, and their whole team obviously just scoring 565 all year shows their lack of offensive success in this one. It's going to go to Metuchen. That was a really nice defensive job by the Metuchen Bulldogs. We've talked a lot about Liam Benderly as a defensive specialist and how much of an impact this guy makes as a senior, and he's going to be gone. They're losing him. They're losing Dom. They're losing Alec. They're losing a lot of star players. They're losing Kay. It's going to be tough for Metuchen Bulldogs after all these studs graduate. Max Cone airballs the three-pointer. Liam gets the rebound. It's back to Cone, and Cone, all the time in the world to shoot away. He's been a little bit cold from outside. Didn't have the best game last time, but don't worry. It takes him just about an instant to start to heat up. Losing the ball, it's Cone on the fast break. Sloppy play by Diego Bendizu, who hasn't been seen too much ever since his 2 3-pointers have been crushed. His first 2 3-pointers he made, and since then, he hasn't scored anything or done too much overall. Bendizu, though, still out on the court, and we know he's got some shooting ability. Good stop by Emsley, still staying with the Bears. Bendizu passes to a wide-open man. Omar Gray still looking for his first points in this one. He can't get that to go. Omar Gray, 49 points this year, and 17 of them have come from the free throw line. We'll see what he could do here. Make it 18 or even 19 on the chance at the charity stripe. That's the second foul called on Liam Benderly. And doesn't get that one. Second shot coming from Gray. And so he gets the back half of the pair there from the line. Omar Gray makes it a 28-13 game. Schiappa, wow, That was a really, really nice job by Schiappa, but it wouldn't have counted regardless. That was a really nice play, though. You see Schiappa
Yeah.
weaving through defenders.
And that's just what he does. He almost just made an incredible shot. Just scoops it and throws it like under defenders. It's just insane.
You see Santos put it in. 30-13, Bulldogs up. It's a really, really, really nice game for the Bulldogs so far. And to finalize their games on their home court this year. Putting it up. That was a really nice play. Jake Zawacki lays it in. It's a wide open Marcus. Malamug throws it to a wide open Cone. And they're going to restart. That was a really nice save by Marcus. There's Cone. He fakes the three, moves in, creates an easier chance. And Emsley's got that easier chance. And Emsley's got a chance for a three-point play. Kay Emsley silently become one of the best players on this team. Ever since he's joined, he's made an immediate splash, Henry.
Yeah, because Liam Benderly might be overlooked, but he is just playing great. He almost has 100 points on the season. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke 100 points this game already, having 94 before entering this game. So Emsley, just a great player. He is going to be, yeah, he actually had 79 points entering the season. Still a great player, but also a senior, going to be gone along with a lot of the other players on this team. Going to be a huge hit to Metuchen, but like I said, Emsley, a silent but key contributor to this Metuchen offense.
Here's Cone. He's got it. There's Emsley. There's the man number 24. Cone's wide open in the corner. They're guarding a nice zone defense. It's not been working too much so far. There's Santos. He must be one of the top scorers in this one. He's been a really valuable player in this one. Dom Schiappa, Ben Santos have been the main aspects to this combined blowout. 35 points, and it's not even the end of the first yet. That looked like a charging foul against David Brearley. Malamug went down, and it's Bulldog ball. A minute 43 to go. We got an interview coming up in just under 2 minutes. And right now, Metuchen's up by 20 points as they're going to get the ball, Max Cohn's ball. And Metuchen has the chance to just add more points to this board. And actually, the best player in terms of production and points has been Obazinski for David Brearley. Yet he has 3 fouls after that play. There's Cone. He puts it up. Cold streak continues, but Malamug gets the rebound, gets 2 in fact, gets fouled on the way up to the hoop next time, and he's going to be sent to the line. Malamug also silently been playing really well, especially through this game. He gets 2 chances at the line.
Yeah, 80 points so far this season. Probably going to go around the 85-90 mark after this game. Been playing pretty well this season. Also, another good note. Also something to note, he's a junior, so he will be back next season. So expect him to get even more plays in, and expect him to be able to just be an even more key contributor as a senior.
Haven't seen too much from him. He's kind of been on the bench dealing with injuries. He was quarantined earlier on in the year, but I have no doubt that he will be a huge part to this program come next year. He misses the first, he makes the first, misses the second, 36-15. Metuchen's got a 21-point lead. Bears ball, and it was a foul on Metuchen. And just waiting for the motion from, it looked like it was Max Cone, and that would be Max's first foul tonight. It's checked in. A minute 6 to go. It's put up, and it rolls in. Lucky roll there. Glenn McRae gets his night going as he lays that in. 55 seconds to go. Metuchen up 19. Slowing it down is Max Cone. The guard passes to Santos. Santos underneath to Emsley. Emsley puts it up. Off balance, but put up a nice shot. Schiappa's rebound is good. 36 seconds to go in the first half. Metuchen putting up near 40 points here in the first. Still have 5 timeouts. They have yet to call a timeout, and Coach Cardillo has called he's not afraid to call timeouts, but he hasn't used any of his 5 so far, and he has no reason to because Metuchen has been operating to its fullest potential so far. 23 seconds. Wonder if Metuchen will hold for one last shot.
And also, one important thing to note, Metuchen's season high is 80 points on the season, so they almost are on pace to tie that if they're able to get 2 points in the next 7 seconds. So something to look out for if they could beat their point total.
5 seconds to go. Schiappa gets it to go. It falls in. 40-17 is how we end the first half. Great job by Metuchen. The Bulldogs' lead is 23 heading into the second half. Looks like it's going to go Metuchen's way for their final home game, but you never know what happens in the second half. I really liked what I saw from Metuchen. David Brearley should make some changes and probably leave out, make sure that they're guarding Schiappa the best way that they can, because Schiappa was wide open for the prime majority of the first half.
Yeah, because they have done a terrible job containing Dominic Schiappa. It doesn't matter when or where he gets the ball in his hands, he will always make a play with it in some sort of way, whether it be doing it himself or passing it to an open player with a creative pass to, get the ball to the player's hands, bypassing defenders. So just great player.
Yeah, okay, so Mayor Bush will be joining us. That's our special guest. Actually, my father will be joining us. Just going to talk a little bit more about the mask mandates, a little bit about the town. The mayor obviously knows quite a lot about the town, although I will not admit it all the time. He certainly knows a lot. Welcome to the Bulldog Report, Mr. Mayor Jonathan Bush.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ike Bush. It's nice to be here, and it's an honor to be here.
Definitely. So, Governor Murphy just released that the mask mandate will be lifted in schools on March 7th, I believe. So, what do you know anything about potentially the district and what they'll do, the Metuchen district? Maybe they'll lift the mask mandates come March 7th as well?
I don't know exactly what our school district is going to do, but I do know that every school district has to make a decision on their own, and I'm confident that Dr. Caputo, as your superintendent of schools, will make the best decision in the interests of the school district. And I do also know that if for some reason Dr. Caputo were to say, for example, masks are no longer mandated, that I'm reasonably certain that you would no longer wear your mask even if mom and dad told you.
Okay, so also I will say I know that you don't always watch all these games, but you sure are around basketball a lot, and you're able to notice a lot of things about the Metuchen Bulldogs out on the court today. So what have you kind of picked up from Metuchen moving on into the future?
I have been extraordinarily impressed with this entire program this year, from the athletic director and the new high school principal, the school spirit and the students, all the way down to obviously James Cardillo and the team. It's incredible to see somebody who's so dedicated. And I've known James for quite some time. He is one dedicated guy, absolutely loves Metuchen sports, loves the kids, and to watch him take this program to the next level is a real treat.
All right, and of course, Dominic Schiappa, the main focus for Metuchen. Anything you'd like to say about his career heading into Marywood College in Pennsylvania?
I'm proud to be able to say that I was the mayor during a time that he eclipsed that list, that top 5?
Yeah, top. He cracked 1,000 in the points total for his career.
And I'll ask you, how many prior students in this building have cracked that number?
Under 10.
Yeah, so
I don't know the exact number. I know it's under 10. I think it's close to 5.
And there's some really impressive people on that list as well. I know there's some Flaherty's on that list and others. So I just know that obviously Dominic is somebody who's headed for greatness in college, and it's great that he's been here and got a start in Metuchen High School.
Yeah, I know Dominic a little bit. I know that he's one committed guy, and I have no doubts that he'll be extremely good in the future, and he's got such talent. So I'm excited to see what the future brings for Dom. Thank you so much for joining us here. I guess that's it. Anything else you want to say?
I don't know. I just figured,
I mean,
I'm honored that you invited me.
Trust me, I'm honored that I'm in your presence.
So this was like a big deal for me to be able to come.
Big deal.
I will tell the people, those listening, that I've been trying to get on the air, but my son has decided, which with very good reason, that he should do this on his own. And I was incredibly excited this morning when he called me just before being in school for the delayed opening and said, "Hey, Dad, any chance you want to come on the air today?" I was like as excited as the day I became mayor. So thanks, Ike. I appreciate
Of
it.
course, of course. So, thank you again for joining us here on the Bulldog Report. We're going to take a little bit of a break, everyone. We're going to return to some Metuchen Bulldogs action. 40-17, end of the first half. We'll see what happens in the second half. Metuchen Bulldogs, Henry Sia, Ike Bush on the call. We're back after a very entertaining first half. And a very entertaining halftime as well. If you weren't here, when this is posted, you could come back and kind of watch what happened. I interviewed my father and the mayor of this town. Metuchen is winning 40-17 here, second half, 7:57 to go. It's David Brearley's basketball, 40-17. Metuchen played their hearts out the first half, all led by Dom Schiappa. Three-point shot, no good. It's rebounded by Kay Emsley. He'll take it Metuchen's way. Here come the Bulldogs.
And
From a corner, it's a three-point chance, no good.
And that second half, or first half, first 2 quarters, have just been domination by Metuchen. Like, seriously. They have been on fire on offense, scoring like an average of 20 points a quarter, which honestly, I'm always mentioning how Metuchen needs to get consistency on their offense. And they just seemed to get consistency versus this David Brearley team, because when they do get consistent, that's when I feel Metuchen plays their best.
Omar Gray lays it in off the glass, 7 minutes to go. We are 1 minute into the second half. And so far, Metuchen hasn't scored anything in this half, but Brearley has. The Bears cutting into that initial 23-point lead they were down. Cone sets up from around the logo. Bounce pass to Dom. Dom Schiappa with it. 6:39 to go in the third quarter. It's floated by Santos into the corner. Schiappa, it's one side to the other. And Emsley's going to take it, right-hand dribbling over to the left. Schiappa inside, it's stolen, intercepted, and taken the other way by, of course, Obidzinski, who's going to fire away at a three-point chance. Look at that laser focus for Obidzinski to get the steal and fire the three. He's been one of the only highlights in this team, on this team so far this game and really this season. And the 136-point man puts up a three-pointer, his third three-pointer of the game. Bounce pass by Cone. Schiappa reversing layup, no good. It bricks off, and a foul as Emsley was trying to go up. He'll get 2 shots.
Now, what I was saying before about Metuchen gaining consistency on their offense, it looks like that they might have lost that, but it's only 2 minutes in. But so far, they have scored 5 unanswered points. David Brearley has scored 5 unanswered points, so it will... I think that Metuchen will be able to come back, obviously, because of their sizable lead, but David Brearley seemed to have picked up some steam.
Second shot, no good. Glad to see everyone's interactive in the comments as well, just kind of watching the stream. Glad everyone's in here. 41-22 as that one's laid in, and kind of cutting into that lead a little more, just a 17-point lead now for the Bulldogs, which was initially a 23-point lead. Cone and the offense have to start to get the offense going again the way we saw it go in the first half. You got Cone, no good. Look at that. A roar from the crowd comes with it. And it's going to be a chance for a three-point play as Benderly, awesome job on the reverse layup, is fouled in the process. And what I was going to say before the Benderly points were, James Cardillo might end up calling a timeout because of the lack of offense for the Bulldogs. But, after that, who knows what will happen. Momentum boosts are sure play a huge role for the Bulldogs. We saw their winning streak come right after fans were allowed to come back into the stands. Benderly splashes both. 44-24. Metuchen far in the lead now. It's a 20-point game. It's going to be a steal. Metuchen quickly on. Cone. Santos rebounded by Schiappa. Misses one. Second one swatted away. He goes back up. And they say it's a travel. That was a really good job by Schiappa. And I saw you, Henry. You were amazed by that play. But unfortunately, it didn't fall. Great job there by Schiappa with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And that's just the effort by Schiappa. After one fail after another, he keeps going until he finally makes it in. And it was a difficult shot, too. About 3 or 4 people beside him. Looks like we have an injury on the sideline.
Yeah, man down.
Number 25.
And we're just gonna attend to him with literally 5 minutes to go. That's Emsley's second foul. Looks like he kind of collided with the ground a little too hard there.
And that is Brian Santiago Kaufman.
Yeah, Santiago Kaufman, 33 points this game and 3 free throws this season. He hasn't been seeing too much gameplay time. In fact, he only appeared in 8 of the games, but you know, he's been pretty good tonight on the defensive side. He did get in a scrum earlier on in the game, you remember seeing with Cody Cardillo, but he's going to get walked off now, and he looks okay as the trainer is going to go help him out.
Seems to be he's walking on his own power now, so that's a good sign, but not really their most valuable player, but still tough to lose a player to injury. Although he seems to be getting better.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll update you. Looks to be okay. We'll tell you when he's back in the game for sure. And it looked like it might have been a walk there. It's sent the other way. Possession arrow pointed in favor of the Bulldogs. 4:51 to go. Metuchen already has a foul, and so does David Brearley. In fact, they have 2. And Metuchen still has yet to call one timeout in the entirety of this game. Head coach James Cardillo seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's doing an amazing job. As much credit as you give to these players, which I am giving a lot of credit to the players, but James Cardillo also doing a great job coaching them and being able to just destroy this David Brearley team, because they have really been able to get nothing going. And Metuchen has just stayed red hot on offense. So, great job by both the coaches and the players.
Underneath, that's good. That was a really nice play there. 46-26, Max Cone. A little shovel pass over to Ben Santis. Santis over to Cone. And they'll slow things down. Pace is slowed down here from the David Brearley side of the half. Back over to Cone. He's still in deep range, but don't count him out. He could still probably shoot this range. We've seen him testing range just like Trey Young we've seen. It's passed in. Schiappa puts it up over a defender, or not so over a defender, as it gets swatted away. That's Glenn McRae's second swat of the game. You saw a really nice one last time. And how about Benderly? He's been so good out of the gate of the second half. Looked really good. He's had all of Metuchen's points here in the second half, and he has the chance for 2 more here at the line. He made 1 of 1 at the line last time. And he completed the 3-point play. That's the 4th foul for Diego Bendezu, who could foul out with just 1 more foul. You see him attending to the sideline. They're going to sub him out. They're going to have to start to play a little smarter. Bendezu, one of their top players. Bendezu, really one of the best players. He hit a few 3-pointers earlier in this one. His 14 3-pointers on the year. 74 points in total. He's played in 11 games. He has the chance to foul 1 more, and that would end his game here in the Metuchen High School gym.
That'd be a huge, nick to this offense, because, it would really just slow them down. I mean, not that the offense really has any momentum, but it would really slow their momentum down if they lost one of their best players, and that would just make the offense even worse. So they definitely not want that to happen, but at this point it really doesn't matter. But hope for the best.
Cone on it, 3.5 minutes to go. Finds Marcus, and Marcus Malamug takes it inside. He finds Alec Latailai. Latailai over to Max Cone. Max Cone to the point. Cone to Santis. Santis back to Cone. They're cycling it as he kicks it and shoots it. And it's no good as it's swatted away. But, of course, there was a foul on the play. It was number 3. That was Diego Bendezu, it seemed. Actually, sorry, it was number 4. That was Pinto, it seemed, on the foul. That's Pinto's 3rd foul of the game. They're foul trouble right now. It's not that they have too many fouls. It's just that some players have too many fouls. Not that the team necessarily does, but, I would say the second half, they do have 5 fouls. The first half wasn't quite as bad. They never actually gave Metuchen the bonus. And Maxicone splashes the second one. So 49-26. Bulldogs heavily in front at this moment with 3:03 to go. We're just over halfway through the third quarter. And a foul completed. It's an and one try. What a good job there. And Brandon Purrier lays it in.
And that's just a great job by him. Like, he just did an amazing job going through multiple defenders and just making the difficult shot. And not only that, but he was fouled. And we'll see if he's able to make another point to make it a 3-pointer. That is Thorne.
Misses that one. Malamug grabs the rebound. Here come the Bulldogs back on the offensive end. Max. Underneath. Malamug's layup is no good.
Something to note, he is a senior, only with 2 points, but a lot of potential, too. As you see, he gets the ball again. Almost just tripled his season total with that.
So, you got Cone putting it up. No good. A little too strong on the layup. It appeared he was fouled on the play. He was. I believe that was a foul on Brearley. Yes, it was. Actually, no, it was not. It was on Metuchen there. And, of course, that was a foul called on Alec Latai, who's his 4th. So one more and he fouls out of this game. Don't want to lose your chance to play in a game like this in front of your fans for pride in your final home game. Alec's also a senior, so definitely wants to play out his final game. The shot no good. Latai grabs the rebound. Here come the Bulldogs. 2:01 to go. Now down to 158. Schiappa, spin move, powering through. Ball gets swatted out. Appeared to go last off a blue jersey, I think. And the call will stand with Metuchen. 5 timeouts remaining for the Bulldogs. It's still. And remember, keep an eye on that bonus call. Once Brearley gets to 7 fouls, they have a bonus. Or Metuchen has a bonus, meaning every single foul would send them to the line for 1 shot. And then once they get to 10 fouls, Metuchen gets 2 shots at the line per foul, which definitely has a huge, impact on the game. So it's going to go with Brearley here. Metuchen at this point probably just playing for their season high and in front of the home fans. Remember, last night, they ended up losing that game. As you see, it's going to stay with Metuchen. Look to be out of bounds there. But Metuchen last night, they lost that game. It wasn't a great game, I'll say that, that they played. But they definitely played hard. But they just came up short of that win. That actually happened to be their first loss at home since January 21st. And now it looks like they're going to be back in the win column here in the Brainy Borough for the first time, since, first time that they've started a win streak at home since January 21st. 1:20 to go. Brearley's ball. The Bears trying to find some source of offense as they're still shy of Metuchen's first half total. Air ball as Cone passes to Cardillo from the coffin corner. Lines up a shot, misses. It's an air ball. Still staying here with Brearley. So it's been a little bit of a drought in terms of points in the last minute. No one has scored in the last 60 seconds. Obazinski. Bounce pass as Latai is with it. Into the attacking end. Latai, a pass over to Schiappa. He puts it up. Jump shot is good. He got a lucky bounce. Some puck luck there for Dom Schiappa. It goes in. 51-28 is the score. 32 ticks to go. Ball coming loose. And the ball's ripped out. And into Bulldog attacking end. In the zone of David Brearley. Schiappa finger roll in. He got a little lucky roll there. 53-28. They have a 13-point quarter in action right now. Bounce pass, putting it up. It's good. 3 seconds. Now 2 and now 1. Ron Harper Jr. style. It's no good, though, unlike that game against Purdue. And it's going to be headed into the fourth quarter. 53-30, Henry. What have you liked, what have you disliked about Metuchen's play in the first half?
Honestly, I just love how Metuchen's been doing. I mean, their offense only scored 13 points compared to their 21 and 19 from the second and first quarter, respectively, but they have been doing amazing. They really have no need to score any more points but for pride. So I would just, if I was their coach, I would just tell them, keep doing what you're doing, keep playing, don't stop trying, and just play your last game out, your last home game out, and win. Because this is an amazing way to play your last home game out if you are a senior. Up 23 points against another team. So great job by Metuchen on all facets of the ball.
Not sure if any of you guys know this, but I was just received word. The trivia, Metuchen trivia, first time we're doing this, happens to be the last game we'll be on the air. But David Brearley was actually named after the first Chief Justice of the NJ Supreme Court. He also was a signer of the U.S. Constitution. In case you guys are interested in the naming of David Brearley, my dad just gave me some facts about the actual man, David Brearley. Some interesting facts, I should say. Cone underneath. Cardillo puts it up. No good. It's going the other way. 7:40 to go in the final stages of this one. It's been an honor to call here on the Bulldog Report for this basketball season. Probably the end after this one. The final home game, as you see a splash there by Baczynski. He hits 3 more points, and they're cutting into this lead a little bit, but not a sizable enough amount because it still is 53-33. You see Schiappa wide open outside. He deals a pass inside. Malumug misses the layup, and it's going to be staying here on this side, at least for now. It's going to be Brearley's ball. So, yes, it's staying here. Brearley with the basketball. Up by 20, the Bulldogs are, and they only have 4 fouls. Brearley is 1 foul away from giving Bulldogs the bonus. It's put up and put in. It's been a really, really good game there for Mark Davis. And Davis, not Mark Davis. It's been a really, really good game for Gary Find. And Find is a senior, but he's having the best game of his season so far. Only 2 points heading into this one. That's a walk by Latai Lai with 6:49 left to go. Len McRae is the target. He'll take it up. Guarded by Schiappa. Find puts it up. He's fouled in motion, and he has 2 shots at the line. Find has made a splash off the bench. There's no doubt about that. The senior has the chance for 2 shots. We'll see what he does here. Making a big impact off the bench. And that's been a big thing. Metuchen definitely does their film study. I've heard some of the players tell me they do film study a lot, but maybe they don't account for some of these really star bench players. I mean, he's kind of rising up from someone, Find his rise up from someone that has only appeared in 2 other games to having a really good game, as you see him miss the first foul shot.
Yep. He has only scored 2 points throughout the season. Coming into this, he already scored 2 more points, and now his chance to score 5 points on the season.
Yes, that's right. He actually had 4 heading into that, and then he has 5 now. So you're right. So 53-36. It's been a tough one here for Brearley. And if everything goes the way it definitely should in the last 6.5 minutes, that'll be their 15th loss as they sit at the bottom of their conference in the standings. 6:20 to go, 2 points Metuchen's favor. Moving in. Pass intended for Thimes. It's no good. Find couldn't get the ball to go. 6:06 to go. So, you see Ben Santos with it. Henry, what are you thinking about the Metuchen Bulldogs' future heading into, next year? They're losing some of their seniors. What are you thinking?
I honestly think they need some of their sophomores to step up. Like, for example, Ben Santos, he has been doing an amazing job so far, being on the starting roster as a sophomore, scoring about 120 points this season. So I expect him to take a huge step in production in his junior year. Losing Dominic Schiappa, Emsley, a bunch of other key seniors is going to be huge, along with Benderly and some other players, but it is going to be just painful. But I think like people like Ben Santos and other sophomores like Cardillo, Max Cohn will be a senior, be able to be the veteran presence and just be good in the future.
Yeah, and that complete list of seniors that will be leaving Metuchen is Jordan Armetta, Liam Benderly, Kay Emsley, Alec Latailai, and Dominic Schiappa. So that's a total of 5 players will be gone next year. It'll be the Max Cohn show, the Ben Santos show. Excited to see what happens next year. Of course, I'll be on the call for most of those games as well. 5:52 to go. 56-36. Bulldogs up by 20 in the final stages of this one. This is the Bulldogs team that only lost by 1 point against Roselle Park earlier on in the season. And this is a Brearley team that lost against that same team by 28. So you see the difference in points production between the two squads. Max Cohn over to Kay. Emsley kicks to Benderly. Santos chucks up a not-so three-pointer, and it's going to go the other way. It looked like it might have been deflected on the way to the hoop. 5:07 to go in the Metuchen Bulldogs home season. 5 minutes to go, and Metuchen already has a bonus on their side in the last few minutes. It's up and it's in. And that was a good play there by Diego Bendezo, who also is one of the players in foul trouble. He's been in actually deep trouble. He has 4 fouls right now.
You know, not that it matters at the end of the day, but Metuchen has only scored 3 points so far this entire quarter at the middle of the half. So let's just hope they don't blow this lead, but I have faith that with the time left they will not. But let's see how David Brearley responds.
The Bears still down by 16. Layup missed. Emsley just gave you the old-fashioned caller's curse as he lays that one in. 58-40. Caller's curse been haunting us, as I mentioned a lot, for a good portion of the season. It's been we seem to jinx almost everything we say at this point. 58-40. It's going to go out of bounds. Bulldogs will stick with the ball. Metuchen with the ball, looking to expand a little bit more. It looks like potentially the season high is out of range, but right now they're playing for some solid pride with fans in the stands, watching their beloved Bulldogs for the final time this year. Cohn moving outside. He's guarded right now pretty heavily, but he still finds a way to get open and find Schiappa. He's been quiet in terms of point production. That is Cohn. There's Schiappa for 3. He's got it. 61-40. I was going to say, Max Cohn, pretty quiet in terms of point production in this one. But he always makes an impact as a playmaker and a really, really good guard for the Metuchen Bulldogs.
Yeah, and as the seniors leave this team, Max Cohn is going to be the best or the most valuable senior on this team after all the others leave. So he's going to have to step up too, and I'm sure he will, being able to be the guard on this team, like the guard leader, to just lead this team into the future.
Taking the other way, Emsley chucks it up, getting tackled, looked like Pat Mahomes. He finds Schiappa, who lays in a breakaway chance. Fans got stood up there, expecting potentially a dunk, but Schiappa didn't have the angle to kind of dunk that one. He started the day off for the Bulldogs by dunking. I think you can give him a break. Nice job there by Schiappa. 63-40. They'll talk things over. Final 2:48 to go. Metuchen still staying a little bit out of foul trouble, managing to still only foul 5, so definitely don't want to go to the bonus. That slows down the game a lot, and Metuchen definitely just wants to get out of here right now, up by 23.
And like you said before, Metuchen has not used a single timeout. And they really don't need to, because Metuchen has been doing so amazing and just so well at everything that they really don't need like a pep talk to get back in the game, because they've been in the game for almost this entire game. Trying to put it in other words, not to repeat myself, but Metuchen has just been playing amazing. Defense, offense, just great. And this is a really great way to send out all the seniors from home on this Metuchen team and send them out to college. Just a great way and a great ending.
Absolutely. There's a 3-point chance. Barely looked like he jumped on the chance. Glenn McRae misses that one. McRae deals out. And Zawaski, who hasn't been playing a little while, he doesn't go for any points here. And it's staying with Metuchen. So you've got Jordan Armetta in. He's in as a senior in his final 2.5 minutes. Armetta with the chance to play. He's a point guard. You've got Ben Galeota. He'll be here next year. He's currently a junior. He'll be a senior next year. Schiappa, his last 2 3-pointers, perfect. 66-40, 26-point lead. Metuchen back on the defensive side, under 2 minutes to go. And that's when that's when James Cardillo takes a seat, knowing that this one is pretty much in the bag as Santos misses the layup. Benderly puts it up. Still no good. They get the rebound once again. It's out to Galeota. He moves inside. Moves outside. It rolls outside to Ben Santos. Santos to Galeota. Schiappa over a man. Puts it up. It bounces up. Not in Metuchen's favor. And now you've got Coach Cardillo back on his feet with 1:20 to go. Maybe not liking what he's seeing in the last few seconds. It's up. It is no good. Bendezu.
I mean, this game is pretty much, like you said, in the bag. With only like a minute and 10, 12 seconds left. Like, you could start putting in all your seniors that want to have one more chance to play. Like, putting in backups that are seniors. And it really doesn't matter whether they get points or not. Coach Cardillo ends up using his first time out of the day because I'm sure he just wants to put all the seniors out there to get one last experience at home playing. Seeing a lot of backups, Serio, seeing Gudrafi.
Yeah, but there's actually, believe it or not, there's only 2 seniors out there. 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore. But needless to say, 4 of the 5 starters are on the bench right now. They're kind of letting the younger program come in a little bit more. Gudrafi, definitely don't want to forget his name. He'll be a really good player for the Bulldogs as a shooter. Look at Armetta with a really nice play. Crossed up a guy on the way to the hoop. Couldn't get the layup to go. Fans wanted that one to fall in their direction. Under a minute to go. It's put up and it's in. It's a good play by Obuzinski, and he makes it fall with 50 seconds. Stolen. He puts it up. No good. And that was Diego Bendezu. He's going to roll out of bounds, but saves the ball as Santos takes it with 40 seconds to go. Wide open. Galeota. This is a sloppy Metuchen team right now. Sahil Gudrafi with a little finger roll, and he makes it work. Final 30 seconds here in the Brainy Borough. Metuchen with a huge win. They go down to 11-15 with a big win now. Metuchen, one of the better, one of the bottom teams in their division, but definitely have showed major improvement since 2022 has kind of come around. Once they got fans back in the stands, they've kind of just looked a lot better. Cody Cardillo is in for the final 22 seconds. And Metuchen's win now is their 11th of the year. Armetta in possession, 14 seconds to go. They're not just letting Cardillo hold the ball for the final seconds, although he's kind of just pivoting. And I'm not quite sure what that was. Bench kind of laughing at him there. Ben Santos with the reenactment. They've got the whole squad in acting program right now. 6 seconds to go. And I think they'll just hold it there. And that is it. Metuchen pulls out the W at home in front of the fans. What a win for the Bulldogs. What did you see here, Henry?
Honestly, I just saw amazing work on offense and defense, putting up almost 70 points, holding this offense to 42 points. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because Metuchen just played amazingly. You saw major improvements on their offense, just being able to score points, their consistency, scoring 40 points in one half. Just amazing job by Metuchen. It should be an amazing send out to the seniors playing their last home game. 68-42 is your final score. That was an amazing game.
That was a great game for Metuchen. Again, I'm honored to be running the show here on the Metuchen Bulldog Report. Of course, thank you to Ben Solaski for putting the whole thing together as the tech man. Thank you to Henry Sia for joining me all the time as my color guy. He'll be here. We're not going anywhere the next 2 years. I'll be here. He'll be here. Of course, Eddie Kalecki always joining me from Rutgers. We only got to do 2 men's games, of course, but always great to see him back in the booth here at the Metuchen High School. That's just about it. Metuchen versus David Brearley. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the Bulldog Report, and that just about completes the season here on home games. Of course, we only cover home games. So Metuchen pulls out the W against David Brearley. Bears 68-42 is your final score. And that's it. For Dom Schiappa and the Metuchen Bulldogs, we're signing off. Ike Bush, Henry Sia. We're all done here from the Metuchen Bulldog Report.